come. Here they all come.
Here they are.
Yay! Woohoo! Oh, it's hard to see everybody in our group. Oh my God!
Well,
So good to see you. Oh my Lord! Oh.
Our windows.
This is being recorded. Okay.
Right.
There. Oh, okay. Now I can see people. Yes, how wonderful. Oh, how lovely to see people. And I'm thinking we're just going to hope that Neo finds her way to us.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should go forward, and hopefully Neo will jump in as soon as she's.
Yeah.
So
and we're on, aren't we?
We're on, and welcome everybody. I'm just going to kind of get us warmed up here as we gather. If you're not an active member of the panel, we're going to turn your picture and your sound off, everybody, or you could do that for yourself. But we're not going to be taking questions tonight, but we'll next time we will.
So lovely to see your faces ever so briefly.
Yes, it is. We're so happy that you're here.
Yes, it's so great. It's so great that you're here.
I welcome you on behalf of the Gilder Coigney International Theatre Artists International Forum.
I can't hear.
Oh, who's there?
That's Joan, I think.
Hi, Joan. My sound is up all the way. Maybe you need to turn your sound up, Joan. We are the project. This new project is under the auspices of the New Perspectives Theater Company. The forum was created by Melody Brooks, the artistic director and our host at New Perspectives, along with my beloved Joan Firestone, Milani Singh McDonald. Our program director has been Shreya Ambati, and I thank all the staff at New Perspectives for turning this around so very quickly. Our name is inspired by the work of two groundbreaking theater women, Rosemary Gilder and Martha Coigney. They were the original leaders of the U.S. International Theatre Institute. And if you have a little bandwidth, I recommend you do a little research and check them out. They were amazing women, and they continue to be our inspiration. Yes? Yes. Oh, okay. As the world veers towards increasing authoritarianism and bullying, and the self-interest of a few becomes very dangerous, there's an urgent imperative to expand our existing relationships into a vibrant, working international theater community, one that can provide connection, opportunity, and resource across borders for all artistic participants. Now, let's all continue to create our own virtual space and define our needs. Today is our inaugural discussion initiated by my friend and wonderful theater maker, Elizabeth Hess, who will introduce us to Women Playwrights International and the members who are with us here today, and tell us more about the organization and the makeup of the organization and about the very exciting upcoming conference. So Elizabeth, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Linda, and yes, huge thanks to you and to the forum and New Perspectives for hosting us. And when Linda and I had this conversation, and she's like, "This is exactly the kind of thing we want to do, is to really have visibility and exchange and collaboration internationally with women theater artists." And so it's just really great. I'm really excited to be here. And also, I feel like Women Playwrights International really has been so important, impactful in my professional life. And I think it's really great if we can let others know about it. And so let me just very briefly say a little bit about what Women Playwrights International is. And some of what Linda was saying about the Gilder Coigney Forum is very much in line with Women Playwrights International, which we'll refer to as WPI now. So, Women Playwrights International is a worldwide network of women playwrights, theater makers, and scholars of all identities, which was founded in 1988. So it's been around for a while. And a conference is held every 3 years. And the next one, the 13th conference, will be in the Philippines in May 2026. So that was part of the reason we wanted to do this now, was to really get the word out there and support the conference that's upcoming. And it's held in a different place in the world every 3 years. So the WPI truly is an international organization. And the mission statement is to promote and further women playwrights by encouraging the development and international recognition of their work. And there's 6 main goals, and I'll just say them very simply. One is an opportunity for meeting, networking, and artistic exchange. 2 is to further production opportunities for women playwrights. 3 is the education and development of women playwrights and their craft. 4 is the right to engender their own artistic forms and critical standards, which seems so relevant and necessary right now. 5 is to encourage the study and informed critique of women's work. And 6 is support against censorship and political persecution for expression of ideas. And this has been the mission statement for a long time, and it could not be more timely and relevant than it is right now. So I want to open this up to my panelists, my colleagues from WPI, to talk a little bit about an experience that we have had as theater makers through WPI that's been particularly important and impactful in terms of our own journey. And so I had been asked if I would lead with one myself. So I just want to say that my first experience with WPI was when a play of mine was accepted for reading in Stockholm in 2012, I believe it was, 2013. And this was a play that was called Dust to Dust, about systematic wartime rape. That was a commissioned piece. And I was approached after the reading by Dorotina Basha, who is from Kosovo, who said, I would love you to come to Kosovo and do a workshop with us. We have just been traumatized because of the recent war in Kosovo, and there's so much taboo around it, and it would be so wonderful to have your support and also your courage in having addressed this. So off I went to Kosovo, and sponsored by a Swedish NGO. And I created a devised piece with 7 young women playwrights and directors and actors from Kosovo based on archival rape testimonies from Kosovo. It was an extraordinary experience, and they took this piece to a women's theater festival in Belgrade, Serbia, which took such courage. And it ended up being an incredibly healing experience from both sides of that war for those women to share their work at that women's festival. And it was their first time crossing former enemy territory, enemy lines. And so the whole experience for me was incredibly powerful. And I thought, why am I here? And I told them that all my friends in New York were so amazed about their courage, and they couldn't believe that anybody was interested in their story outside their country. And I said, oh my God, yes. Oh my goodness. So it really, it really empowered them to own their story and know that they were being heard and seen. And it was also, for me, an opportunity to really expand and develop the beginnings of what for me was a real commitment to cross-cultural collaboration. So that was the story that I wanted to share in terms of how WPI has impacted me. There's many others, but I want to turn it over to our panelists, and we're still waiting on Neo, who is from Botswana, and it's 2 in the morning for her. So, well, hopefully her alarm will go off at some point. She'll join us. But with us is August and Achiro and Rosemary. And August, I'd like to start with you since you are the president of WPI, and if you can just if all of you, when you speak, if you can just introduce yourself, just say who you are, where you are, and then really what is the powerful relationship that you have with WPI, besides being the president, August.
Okay. Hello, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon to everyone watching us right now. I know a lot of people all over the world are joining us, especially playwrights and artists. We also share the link of our streaming right now in the WPI Facebook page so that all other networks of the WPI can watch our discussion this today. I am August Andong from Philippines. I got engaged with WPI since 2000 when Maluha Kob, the Filipino playwright who was one of the very first Filipino who actually joined the founding of the WPI in Buffalo, New York. And we actually organized it and hosted at that time in 2000 the second conference for Asian women and theater held in the National Arts Center in Magpakiling, Los Baños, Laguna, in the Philippines. And then 2003, Philippines also hosted in Manila, hosted the conference of WPI. And then all through the years that we got engaged with so many WPI activities, in between conferences in the Philippines, um, we also organize a lot of workshops for indigenous women, basically teaching them how to do basic playwriting and how to tell their stories. And I think this is the one thing that really got me stayed until now in the organization because of the cross-cultural exchanges, not only with the local and diverse people in the Philippines, but also fellow artists, playwrights, and theater collaborators all over the world, to which we can have a good cultural exchange on the experiences that we have. And true to what Elizabeth said, you know, the stories, experiences of women being shared every time we meet, it's very, very rich, and no value of money can actually buy it. And it actually even improved my writing through the years, no? Talking to a lot of fellow women playwrights that I met in the conferences, I got inspired with some stories. I got inspired with the realities that each woman all over the world. There are some differences on the challenges that we meet, and there are also some similarities as women, especially on discrimination, inequality, and the things that we need to address on as moving forward in WPI. And it's a very rich experience. And for me, aside from WPI, I also work with the International Playwrights Forum of the Philippines, which is actually under the International Theatre Institute, one of the largest performing arts organization in the world. It's like a semi-UN type of organization that is actually representative of all performing artists and organizations all over the world. So it's a huge organization. And during my time, I was in the WPI management committee. I actually was able to work hand in hand with the ITI, how we can collaborate with WPI, and we got the accreditation that WPI is part of the International Theatre Institute network already. So that is one thing that we were able to foster in the past 6 years. And I think moving forward, we are looking to see many more collaborations, not only as a WPI as a whole, but hopefully there will be regional collaboration like European regions will have their own small conference or project collaborative with other playwrights in Europe. And then the America and Canada will also have their own collaborative work. And then for Asia and alongside with other countries in Asian region, we are trying to revive it because after Naomi Tanuka and Kuharo Kisaragi event, Kuharo Kisaragi passed away. I think the WPI Asia League was actually a bit sporadic now. So we were trying to revive and reorganize the team. And of course, for Africa and the Oceania region, no, hopefully each of these regions will have their own cluster project, collaborative project, not only during the conference, but also in between conference. This will help more strengthen the network and the sharing of women playwrights all over the world. So I hope that somehow gives me gives some initial information. And to add more, definitely on how WPI is, we have of course Rosemary with us and fellow colleagues in the management committee.
Wonderful. I just wanted to add, August, as you were talking, that actually August and I met in the Philippines in 2003 at the
Yeah.
IPI conference. So that was already put in the works at that time. I just got word that Neo is here. So if we can get her to come on camera, that would be great. So we, somewhere there she is. Yay, Neo, thank you. Thank you for being with us in the middle of the night in Botswana. We're so happy to have you. We're just going through, just talking initially about relationship to WPI and so on. And I'd like to just take it to Rosemary, since Rosemary is the vice president of WPI and just to, and in Australia. So if you can just carry on, Rosemary, just let us know a little bit about your story.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, I would like to say I'm coming from the unceded lands of the Indigenous people. I pay my respects to the traditional peoples of the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung Nation and the Eastern Kulin Nation and their continuing connection to land, sky, sea, water, and culture. Always was, always will be. I just wanted to start. It's interesting, following August, this is really more a story because in 2020, I don't know if you can see this, if I hold it up. This is a festival of plays by women that I went to as part of WPI. Now, it was a very special time because Liz Jones, who was then co-CEO of La Mama, and I had discussed that in going to this festival, it would be fantastic if we could bring 3 plays back by Filipino writers and present them at La Mama.
Let me just interject, Rosemary. When you say La Mama, you mean La Mama in Australia, yes?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, our La Mama.
Yeah.
Which was inspired by your La Mama.
Yeah.
This is what happened. And it was, oh my gosh, it was so difficult to choose. There were these amazing plays by writers, young and old. And in the end, it was decided that the 3 plays we chose would represent the young generation at 20, the middle generation around 40, 50, and the old generation around 70 plus. So we bought these 3 plays to La Mama. Now, what happened? When I was in the Philippines, literally COVID happened. Oh, literally like days after the festival. So we all went into massive lockdown. And where I am from, Melbourne had the longest lockdown in the entire world. We were basically locked down on and off over 2 years. So what is so remarkable, the 3 plays we chose reopened La Mama. So Caitlin Dullard, who was also co-CEO, said it was so incredible after a year of such distance, uncertainty, that we could bring these plays. And they were 3 such interesting plays. It was Ghost Ship, it was Tabula Rasa, and Original Grace, and which dealt with superstition, child trafficking, sexual abuse, and what it means to be an artist. But each play was framed with the statement, "It is ignorance that kills us." And I cannot say, we actually filmed the 3 presentations, and we sent it back to the writers in the Philippines. And it was just so wonderful and so special, because after that, we went back into lockdown.
Incredible. Amazing. But the art kept you alive.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and connected.
That's right. And
Yeah.
it was actually also interesting because I had quite an exchange with Maria Teresa, um, who wrote Ghost Ship, and she said it was actually very interesting seeing the filming of the presentation of her play, and that it actually made her think about the conflict, the end of the play. And for those of you who possibly attended online in Montreal, there was a production, and it was very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember too. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Mm.
Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. Achiro, let's come to you. Achiro was our representative from Africa and is now in New York. Achiro, do you want to say a little bit about that? Just your journey here?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I apologize for the second sound you're hearing in the background. I'll be performing as Mrs. Dixon in the Intimate Apparel play, Lynn Notage's play at our festival this fall. Okay. So my journey my journey to the US. First of all, I live in the US in exile. So I left Uganda as a result of persecution for my works. And many of them were because I wrote about I wrote about things with LGBTQ themes and also political themes, and that is forbidden in the country. And I did get attacked in the street and was given many warnings along the way here and there. And it got to a point whereby, yeah, after lockdown, I made a decision to leave Uganda. At that time, I didn't realize I was going to actually come and actually seek asylum in the US, but yeah, that happened. So that's why I'm in the US right now. So I'm still a member of WPI. I like to say I'm a member without portfolio because I'm still in between Africa and the US. I don't really belong to either place, but yes, I'm still a member of the
You
of
belong in
WPI
both,
management.
Achiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're an artist and citizen of the world at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So my journey, sorry, what are you going to
No,
ask?
go ahead. That's
So my
exactly what I
journey
was
with
just going to say.
WPI started in 2012, actually, with the festival, with a conference in Stockholm. I'd been told about or introduced to WPI by a friend of mine who knew about WPI, and she was active in the theater, and we'd gone to school together. And she had been invited for the festival, but she couldn't go because she had been invited for another residency that was going to take place around the same time in Germany. So then she got in touch with me and I was like, oh, there's this thing if you're interested, blah, blah, blah. And I kid you not, at that time, I had never written a play in my life, never really had a relationship with the theater because I was writing for film, I was writing for television, and that's all I knew. So I did send in my application and everything. And I sent, because at that time they were asking for 10 pages of a piece of work. And again, like I said, I had no relationship with theater, so I quickly used Celtics to formulate my screenplay into a theater piece. I mean, it was really horrible, but I was accepted. And that for me was, yeah, that literally opened the door for me into playwriting and being in plays and stuff like that.
Achiro, was this wasn't the same, this wasn't the same film that was then done as a play at the Lincoln Center, was it?
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I hadn't written that one yet.
Okay, all right.
The play at Lincoln Center was actually the play that got me ostracized from Uganda. And then it was performed at the Lincoln Center when I got to the US and also at the New Perelman Performing Arts Center. But yes, no, it was a different play. Yeah, so all I'm trying to say is that literally, WPI literally turned my life upside down. And then I really got interested in theater, started to learn about theater, started to learn about playwriting and all these things. Long story short, right now in the US, I teach playwriting and post-colonial drama, and I'm a visiting assistant professor at Vassar College right now. So
Yay. Yay, fantastic. Really wonderful. Thank
cheers,
you.
thanks.
Thank you. Neo, join us. Unmute yourself. There you are. I'm so pleased. I know when we were organizing this, we're like, can you do this, please? And you're like, I'll set the alarm for 2 in the morning. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I am really hoping that the baby doesn't wake up. I am praying that he doesn't wake up. But anyway, hello everybody, and thank you so much for this opportunity. My journey with WPI was very, very interesting. So in 2015, 2014, I graduated with a theater degree. This was the first time theater was actually being introduced as a course in Botswana at the University of Botswana. So I was part of the pioneering group, class of 2010 to 2014. It was the first time ever that they offered the course. So I took it, and obviously my family was livid because the arts in Africa is like, how are you going to make a living, all these things. And so I realized that I really, really needed a community. I needed to find my people who get theater, who get playwriting. And so I remember there was a conference in Cape Town, South Africa. And I remember there was a submission for plays. And at that time, my playwriting technical skills were horrible. Before I discovered cell text, I was always trying to format with Microsoft Word. It was a nightmare. And then, I don't know, somehow I submitted. I didn't think I was going to get a response, let alone be invited to come to Cape Town. I was in deep, deep shock. And I went to Cape Town and I finally found my community. It was so, so emotional because I was like, finally, I'm with people who get me, and my journey was not a mistake. And so made all these nice connections and relationships with amazing women in Cape Town. And then from there, I
In 2015, the WPA conference in Cape Town was in 2015, wasn't it? Before the
yes,
pandemic. Yeah.
yes, yeah, I was there,
So
and
that's a
then when I was
decade, Neil. That's a
yeah,
decade. That's wonderful.
yeah. So and so I met another amazing bunch of women for the African Women Playwrights Network there. And I was just in disbelief that, such organizations and such people actually exist and take this thing very, 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 very seriously. And so I decided that maybe that's what I need to also promote for Botswana women. So I just decided to take it upon myself that I'm going to just get involved as much as I can and all those things. And so there was another open call for the 2018
just got
conference
into
in Chile.
half an hour late.
And
Bloody technology.
and
Okay, you're okay.
and so I was accepted again for the 2018, yeah, in Chile.
Mm.
And I was still shocked. And it was a bittersweet moment because I didn't receive financial help here in Botswana. I got financial help from outside Botswana, representing Botswana somewhere else. So that was a bit weird. So I had to have a conversation with our custodian ministry at the time that So it was really, really embarrassing. But anyway, so after that, I continued to just explore the world of playwriting, get involved as much as I can. My confidence grew as a writer. And so, long story short, someone just reached out to me and said, be part of WPI. I'm really, really trying to remember how that all happened. And then I said, of course, but at first I was a bit nervous and skeptical. Um, but but I think right now if more than anything, I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue learning because I'm obsessed with continuing to learn no matter what. So yeah, that's my little story in a nutshell.
It's so beautiful. It's actually so interesting when you talk about growing in confidence and having community. And I think I'd kind of like to open that up and now for everyone. I did not do not remember meeting Achiro in Stockholm, and I don't remember meeting you in Chile. And it makes you realize there's actually these conferences are actually quite big. And it's so interesting though how you then end up in collaboration with women that you've met through WPI that you may not have necessarily connected with in one place, but then you end up collaborating with them in another way. And I want to open that up to all of you to talk just a little bit about how WPI has created a community of fellow women artists and how that has taken form. What are the forms in which it has really supported you in your journey? So any of you can jump in there.
Mike, jump in.
Yeah, jump in, Achiro.
Well, first of all, I think it's only August that I remember meeting at WPI in Stockholm, and we met at the airport as we were both leaving. So we're waiting for our flights and stuff. So that's how we
Yeah.
met.
Our
But yeah,
flight was delayed at that time. So
yeah,
we
yeah. So
bonded
that
in
was a
the
good meet. It
airport.
was very memorable because we exchanged monies. Because she said that was a tradition that she does, where if she meets someone new, she gives them a note from her country and then gets a note back. So yeah, so it was nice, and I kept on that tradition actually. So I just carried it on. But yeah, so after, just like Neo, very like WPI really opened my eyes into theater, and then after I started to learn about theater, really learn how to write and everything, and create all these other stories. Yes, I did get invited to Cape Town, and again, my script was modified because I was still in the learning process. But a bit later, just knowing the different women in WPI, knowing August and having chats with her as being part of the management committee and talking about ITI and all these other organizations, somehow information was shared here, there, and everywhere. And then my play, the one you were talking about, Elizabeth, that was at Lincoln Center, was performed in Philippines during the ITI
Oh,
forum,
fabulous.
and then also in Canada. So that gave me a lot of confidence seeing my play out in the world, because all that happened even before Lincoln Center.
Mm.
But it did give me confidence, made me start to rewrite, made me start to look at my play and my story in another light. Being able to talk about my story and talk about the story of the play, I mean, and anything that's happening in Uganda and stuff like that as concerns the play. It gave me confidence as a playwright. It really did. And ever since then, yes, I would keep on sharing. I mean, WPI shares with everybody in WPI different calls for plays here, there, and everywhere, and just keeping in touch with these amazing women and knowing their journeys and every single thing that they're going through. It makes me not feel so alone. But yeah,
Yeah.
that is kind of my journey and my story of just I'd say almost milking a WPI for everything that it's got to give. And it has really benefited me a lot, a lot.
Wonderful. There was just a comment that came up from Canada about out of the South African conference was generated in Canada, a South Africa and Canada exchange, which grew out of that conference. And also, August, can you talk a little bit about what happened with you and Canada in terms of that there was another collaboration that happened there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, the collaboration with Canada happened after the Montreal conference. We have the online conference for WPI, because the conference of WPI was on during COVID time, right? So we have to push back the event in Canada, though it happened supposed to be, we plan to go there, but then with all the restrictions for the specific vaccine being used, and most of us actually, especially Asia and Africa, we will not be able to come in because of a specific vaccines that we use. So we turned the team in Canada turned it into an online event. So after that, a few months after, the Playwrights Guild of Canada has been getting in touch with me all along, asking for some collaboration on how to bring in Filipino playwrights to be part of the International Craft Bites. It's actually an online program developed by PGC. To which they feature a particular playwright from all over the world, and then pair it with another Canadian playwright.
In
So
Canada.
the online reading and sharing and exchange is actually between two playwrights, one Canadian and one or members of the PGC, and then one from any part of the country. So for the past 3 years now, I mean, after that, the Montreal conference of WPI, we've been doing this collaboration, and we featured like 5 playwrights in the first round. That was 3 years ago, and then another 3. We bring in Luna Sikat, and then of course this year we're featuring, next week actually we have Tanya Lopez to be featured. So that's a total of around already 12, almost 12
Wow.
playwrights presented, Filipino playwrights. And every time I send a nomination or recommendation of who will be presented, I always see to it that the Philippines is well represented. One from the Luzon, or the National Capital Region, which is the upper part of the country, and then the Visayas region, which is in my area, which is in the central part of the country, and then the southern part is Mindanao. So, like for example, Bebo Trudil, which also Rosemary, which Rosemary met also in the WPI conference here in 2020, who wrote a very, very good script about the journey of a small community in the southern part of Mindanao and the Muslim communities, and during the struggle of a war of the war in the southern part of the Philippines. So that was part of the play, and then it was also the excerpt of which is also presented during the PG's Playwright Guilds of Canada's International Craft Bites. So I mean, this kind of new networks actually is coming from the WPI network that we have. And this is actually one thing that WPI uniquely have in terms of how it connects one particular woman in a particular country to another place. I mean, and all through the years, that connection grew. If I look at it and trace it back from the 2000, the creation of the WPI Philippines in 2000 here in the Philippines, and then how I've seen the network grew. If I will count it based on the statistics that we have, we almost have featured already around 3,000, and network around 3,000 women all over the world. The only problem that we have now, I think how we can address it, is how to continue the connection, because there are some women playwrights that we have that only attended one or twice, and then they're already gone from the network, or might be some realities in life, as women always have some challenges. So I think that's the one thing that we need to address, how to maintain and continue this connection, because looking at our numbers, every year we almost featured in a conference 100 women attending. Not only that, but also how many people in the community to which country the conference is brought. You engage another team of conference of people in the conference, theater organization, theater actors, university students, and can you imagine how huge the impact is in
Yeah.
terms of how we touch various sectors of the performing arts, not
Yeah.
only playwrights, not only theater directors or theater actors, but also people that we get engaged, like the non-government organization that are part of the conference, even collaborators and partners who also organize, even part of the secretariat. I started in WPI as a secretariat in the conference. So, and I never knew that I would end up to be one now, one of the management committee members now. So, I mean,
I
I
didn't
started,
think I was going to be either, but you know, here
yeah,
we
that's
all are,
why.
which is
Yeah.
also
So, but
something really special.
I think
Yeah.
the passion to being part of this bigger community is
Yeah.
there, and this is what is very unique among us,
Yeah.
and how I wish we can influence more,
Yeah.
younger playwrights.
I agree with that. And Linda, you want to jump in?
I just wanted to ask, I'm a kind of a wonk. I love to know how organizations are structured. And I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about, so it seems like WPI has, every country has its own WPI. Is that what I'm perceiving here? Or maybe you tell me better. And then the follow-up would be, how would one get involved if they wanted to? If there's somebody here who's not part of the group already. Okay, thanks. Those are my questions.
Cool.
Actually, WPI, not all countries have their own country chapter. Organizing a country chapter really takes a lot of time and effort in terms of logistics. But most often what we see, like the WPI Italia, and there's also the WPI Japan before, and also the WPI Indonesia. But I think what is very common though it is not a formalized organization or a really structured one, because what happened is just women grouping meeting together. Okay, let's work together, like the WPI Latin America team. They all also group together, but these are volunteer work. We don't earn anything from it.
August, what would be really helpful while we're having this conversation is if we can put the link up to WPI so that people that don't
A
know about
website,
it,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And just in the broadest sense, Linda, there are this management committee that we have is from it's North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia. Unfortunately, our European and Latin American weren't able to be part of this, but there's already a lot of energy just with a lot to cover just with all of us.
Yes, but I would just throw in, Linda, it's like every organization. So I think we have Anna K. France here and Sandra, who are well, they are the original members of Women Playwrights International, which started in Buffalo. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 1989. And so the organization has gone through many transitions and changes. So I think originally it was actually far more structured, Linda, because I think there was a base in New York, and there was actually money. People would pay subscriptions. But then over time, the organization has morphed. So it's become much, I guess in a way, it's become much smaller because of changes that happened in South Africa at Cape Town Conference. And so it's very much now our committee who kind of hold the organization. And it's so wonderful that August is president, because WPI Philippines are fantastic. They are incredible. Also, in Canada, they're very, very strong as well.
Yes.
And so,
And
currently, I hope
many of the
in
WPI,
the Philippines, that maybe there will be voting for a new committee, and I'm sure changes will happen again.
And I just wanted to echo what you're saying, Rosemary, that there's many people from WPI in Canada who are here with us tonight. And I wanted just to shout out to them for their tremendous work with WPI. And I think one of the things that August brought up that I think is also really important to emphasize is how the conference fans out into communities. I know that part of my sponsorship going to Chile was through Columbia University Center in Santiago, and so that I ended up working with the universities there, and then went back the next year with another project that grew out of that connection. So I think that's a really important thing, that it's always an evolution. Rosemary,
Can
did
I
you
just
want to?
say
Yeah,
one other
go.
thing? So it's sort of interesting within this organization because there are a lot of people who get support through, universities or institutions, but then there would be people like myself who are independent playwrights. So it's so hard often for people to raise money to get to these conferences. And again, I need to do a shout out to Lena Tegan, who was a previous president, because really Norway was brilliant in helping many playwrights get to conferences around the world, which
Neo
was
just said that,
fantastic.
Neo, that was true for you and you too, Achiro? Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah,
So,
2018.
yes, and just quickly, another amazing, because I guess Norway's a very wealthy country. They invest in their people, I must say. And we actually brought Lena's archaeologists to La Mama, and we presented it as a moved reading. Beautiful play. I would really like to direct it properly one day. But it was we rehearsed for a week. It was a one-day presentation at La Mama, and the Norwegian embassy paid for this. Not our government, the Norwegian embassy. I mean, how remarkable is that?
Yeah.
So I think we have to, especially going to the Philippines, I don't know what money we have to, because again, as Elizabeth says, we're a volunteer organization. So I'm not sure, what, August, you may know more if there's anything to help people.
I don't know, August, before you jump in there, I know we're just sort of going through all of us here. I'm wondering, Neo, do you want to add anything to that about just the community, that this is the sense of how it has influenced you?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, I first encountered WPI in 2015, and then I applied for the 2018 conference in Chile. And what happened is that I remember I was going around trying my level best to raise the funds to travel there, and also to get the visas done and stuff like that. And it was a painful thing, especially because arts here, it's not heavily invested on. Even to this day, we are still advocating and grinding for the arts to be really, really, really be taken seriously. And so, like I said, some of these things just organically just happen, I guess, when you put it out there in terms of your passion and your hard work. Someone is always, I guess, watching you and vouching you from behind the scenes, because I remember it was almost time, and I basically just threw in the towel. Like, there's no way that I can afford to pay for this by myself. My family also can't afford this right now. So, and the government is not interested. Oh well. And then somehow I just opened my email, and I was given a link to apply for some sort of a small grant, if I remember correctly, facilitated through Norway. And at first I thought it was a scam, to be honest. I was like, they trying to use WPI to, someone out there knows that I'm passionate about this thing. What's this? And so I was like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I clicked on that link and sent in my details and motivation. It was really, really simple, quick, fast. And I somehow got the grant. And I was still skeptical because I was like, there is no way, right? Get
Yeah.
it? No way.
And
There
it
is no
happened.
way that this is happening. And it actually happened. And next thing, I'm getting my visa. Next thing, I am literally, they send my ticket, send the details of where I'll be staying and all these things. And I was staying in the same room with the playwright from South Africa. I forgot her name, but she was also equally amazing. And yeah, I just realized that when I was in Chile and I arrived there late because of my visa problems. But I remember that the WPI ladies were so in touch with me and just wanted to know if I'm okay, what time I'm arriving, where I'll be staying, and all these things. And they really wanted me there because my play was being performed by the Chilean students. And even the students wanted to know my information so that they can reach out for me because they wanted to also to meet me in person. So that was very, very powerful because I underestimated, I guess when you're in your own country and things are done a certain way, you just get used to how things are done there. And then you get outside your country and you're just exposed to just how serious this thing people take. Like people rehearse, people, it's a full-time thing for them. And I'm also independent. When I get the opportunity for these things, I have to find my own funding. But I think WPI definitely, in terms of the confidence and just reassurance that we're not here by ourselves. And definitely when we are united, there's a lot that can be achieved. And also just someone is always watching. That's what I always appreciate, that someone is always watching you. So yeah, I definitely paid more attention to my emails from
Yes,
that moment
like,
onwards.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something that you brought up that I think is really nice to follow up on is that at these conferences, that the readings are conducted by those from that country. So, for example, in Chile, they were done in Spanish. And then we would have super titles, we would have translated scripts if we wanted them. But there's also such regard and respect for each other's cultures, which I think is really something very special and unique. And I also, I just wanted to add in there that besides these readings, there's also like the conference is like 5 days, and there's a performance that has been chosen in the evening, so that that from somewhere in the internationally, and then there are also panel discussions and there are also workshops. And Nia, just so you know, you're not alone. I was invited to do a workshop in South Africa and could not get the funding. I could not get the funding. It was heartbreaking. But it's so it is something that we can be particularly grateful that the Norwegians were able to come through. And I think the more that people know about the power and the importance of WPI, the more it would be great to know that there is that kind of funding going on. So Achiro just said she's being called to the stage. So Achiro, I think she just left us. So talk about a testament to somebody doing their work. So she's in rehearsal for a play, and we wish her break legs and all the best.
Elizabeth, I'll just jump in.
Please do.
Since we're talking about readings and workshops. Now, look, I wrote this in 2012, so take it as you will, because we were in Stockholm. But there was an amazing workshop called Emergency Monologues.
Huh.
And it was a drama lab at Venue. And it was led by Annalena Hertzberg and Camilla van der Meer Soderberg. Now, this is so interesting because all these women playwrights from different countries were paired together, and we were told, like in 2 minutes, get facts from each other. I'll just read you what I've got. So, this is what women said. Women in America are isolated, not allowed to grow old, and there is an inability to get equal pay. From Iran, young Iranian women have to wear headscarves need permission to marry, and many have cosmetic surgery to have a European-shaped nose. Estonian women are on starvation diets because a woman in Estonia won't succeed unless she's thin. There are huge unemployment problems, along with the continued struggle for 20 years in being a post-Soviet country. From Egypt, how lovers like to stroll along the Nile and view its twinkling lights at night. And from the Swedish participant, how deep the forests are and how people live too far from each other's hearts. But my partner was Canadian, and that was Cornelia Hoogland. And she spoke about the endless girls in princess dresses and the great beauty of the beach where one can swim, followed by seals. And that, her comment about seals, inspired me to write this monologue that became the basis for a play called Birthday Book of Storms, which ended up being in Australia and New Zealand. So it's magical.
How
It can be
wonderful.
so magical.
How wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rosemary. It's funny and poignant and painful, and it's so beautiful when you think of all of the, this is going back to what you said, Neo, how all of a sudden you have all this support, and it helps to break through what you think are the taboos within your own culture when you're around other women that really allow you and give you the space to be able to speak the unspoken. Which is so beautiful, really great. Oh my goodness, we're almost at time. We're almost at time. Oh, why am I not surprised? Linda, do you want to say a few words as we, I just want to say again, I want to thank you, Linda. I want to thank all the people at Gilder Coigney Forum and the New Perspectives for hosting us. I'm so pleased. And when we just got started, before we came on tonight, we were just saying that what we're doing here is such a testament to the beautiful collaboration that happens between women. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, Elizabeth, I want to thank you. I want to thank all these new friends here,
Yeah.
Rosemary, Augusta, Neo, and pass that on to August too after rehearsal. If everybody would be kind enough for a moment to open up their videos, we'd love to see your faces, because I think we're going to take a screenshot for posterity.
Great. It would be lovely to see your faces anyway.
Absolutely, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, so just open up your video so that we can see you. And the other thing I want to say is that there is still, if people are interested in participating in this year's conference, just to reiterate that I think your enrollment is still good through the end of this month. Is that not right, Elizabeth?
To register? Yeah.
So you could register for the conference.
Yeah.
And we posted the website so that people can find out more. And I hope that the WPI will have a presence on the forum. I invite everybody to join the forum if you haven't already. I think this is exactly the kind of activity that Joan and Melody and I imagined might be possible. And this is just the beginning. I mean, we spend an hour and we barely scratched the surface here.
Linda, I just got a note that the video has been disabled.
Really?
I don't know.
It says it's disabled by the host.
Yeah.
You mean we're over? We're over?
I don't know. No, I don't know if Annabella can.
It turned me off right away from the beginning. Said disabled by the host.
Oh heavens!
It won't let me put
We
it
just
back
have to update. We will extend the registration till the end of December 30th. All right, everybody.
Wonderful.
So it's
Okay.
not, you don't have to have Thanksgiving and immediately register. You have time to catch
You
your
have some
breath.
time to figure out if you can make it. That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, wonderful.
So
Yeah,
I don't know what happened here, but so we're not able to open up our.
Now host has asked.
Oh, there she is. So maybe
there we are.
maybe
Hello.
it got enabled again. Maybe
Yes.
we're all
It
enabled.
says the host has enabled you now.
Okay,
So
so
go ahead, everybody, open up your screens.
open up your screens. We want to see your beautiful
Turn on your
faces.
video. We want to see your faces. We want to take a picture of all of us.
Sorry, it's Marcia. It's still
Right?
not working for me.
Still not working for you.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Same with me.
There you go. Here
Oh,
we
how
go.
funny.
We're opening up
Technology.
bit by bit. bit by bit. The lower level is still not open. It
No, I'm
looks
just giving them a message.
okay.
Oh, there we go. There they are. They're coming in out
coming.
of the ether, out of cyberspace.
One by one. One by one.
It's good to see familiar faces, Sandra,
It's so
Rebecca,
good.
Beverly. I mean,
Hello,
Oh,
Twice.
everybody.
Twice.
Oh,
it's
wonderful.
so heartwarming to see all
Marcia.
of you.
Okay, wonderful.
Marcia, get your face on there.
That's right. Marcia, yes, Marcia, you're and
Marcia.
Kimberly, can you open up your
There
video?
she is.
Ah, there
Okay,
you are.
there's
There.
everybody. Yay. So, and that's me. So I'm already on. So we don't
Okay,
need to worry
and
about that one.
and Melody, is somebody taking our picture?
Yes, Annabella is.
Okay, Annabella, great. That's fantastic. And you know, I couldn't close without saying we also, for the forum, are trying to raise the money to keep this platform going. So any kind of contribution anybody would like to make is welcome, and you can go to our website and new
There's
perspective.
a link on the link in the chat. It
And
will
this
take
is
you
a
to
test
right now. Yeah.
This is a testament to what you do. So thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
always,
Thank you.
as some old man playwright said, always be closing. So I
Yes.
think
Thank you so much,
reactionary
everyone.
playwright whose name will not be mentioned tonight. But at any rate, everybody, I thank you so very much.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
everyone.
here's
What a
more
pleasure.
people are coming. More people are coming.
Oh, we're not. Oh, there we are.
Yeah. You could take another screenshot,
Take
Annabella,
another.
if you want.
Okay, we've got more faces.
Oh,
Fantastic.
all
Fantastic.
right.
Well, new
Terrific.
friends, let's make this just the first of many more encounters.
Many more.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you so
we
much.
can actually continue this kind of conversation, you know, and then invite more people.
Absolutely.
Feature one or two more playwrights
right.
from different parts of the
Listen,
world every time. And
we can do readings online. I mean, the sky is the limit. Anybody who has an idea, we'll be happy to vet those ideas.
And if you guys go to the Gilder Coigney Forum website and register to become a participant, and the only reason we ask people to register is we want to ensure that we don't have, you know, people intent on mischief and harm joining us, so that it's a safer space. That there's all kinds of things that we can do, and we've been struggling to get a large enough group of people to be on there to engage in these conversations. And you can feel free to invite any theater artist that you know. Our focus is theater women and their allies. So anyone that you know, please share that, and let's get a big, huge crowd on the forum site.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good morning,
Bye-bye.
evening, day.
Okay.
Wherever
Bye-bye.
you are.
Cheers, ladies. Bye.
Bye-bye.